Okay, so today it's time to talk about lat length. And specifically, last week we talked about how a lot of times we'll see athletes overextend their lumbar spine in order to get up overhead. Part of that may be obviously poor core control of that anterior core, as well as glute control, which we talked about last week. However, what you may see is as you get the athlete better midline stability, better control there, they may not be able to get their arm up all the way overhead. All right, that may be thoracic extension and rotation. However, it also may be lat length. Specifically, the lats are these gigantic muscles on the dorsum here that insert on the lesser tubercle of the humerus and come all the way down and connect, have investments into this thoracolumbar fascia, which actually ends right down here. So you've got this huge muscle that comes down on both sides, and its actions are to extend the shoulder, internally rotate, depress the scapula, and adduct. Essentially, direct antagonists to getting that shoulder up overhead, right? So we need scapular elevation, shoulder flexion, external rotation to get that arm up overhead. So as we're correcting here, you may notice some lat length discrepancies. The best way to assess this, though, really, is to unload the athlete, go supine, and look at how the influence of lumbar flexion changes overhead position, right? So because the lats insert onto that thoracolumbar fascia, they're a lumbar extensor, okay? So if we're down here on our back, go into relative extension here, have the athlete come up arms up overhead, and if they can reach here, what you may see is a lot of compensations in this spine. You can see here I've got some tight lats, and I've got some lumbar extension, because those lats are lengthening and pulling that lumbar into extension. So if we change the orientation of the pelvis, flex the lumbar spine, and now come up overhead, what you'll see is a lot of times people will get stuck here. They're no longer able to compensate with those lats, and now we're stuck here. So that indicates a lat length discrepancy. Why is this important? Well, if the lats are tight, not only are we not able to get up overhead, we're also pulling the shoulder forward because it's an internal rotator. We're not able to fully consummate that overhead position, and we're now sacrificing and crushing down those structures in the posterior spine. So, what's funny about having tight lats? There's nothing funny about having tight lats, okay? We've got to address this as we go up the chain in order to assess overhead function. So get their core control right, then next look to lat length, okay?